Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Detox. Today it is my absolute pleasure to have with us Naveed Iftikhar, who is the founder of atomcamp, which is an organization that is providing continuous learning opportunities for the youth, for women, for people of all ages with relation to data science. Now, Naveed Iftikhar Saab will give us a little more about himself. But if I could just give you a little bit about him, he has served as a governance specialist with the Pakistan's Ministry of Finance. He's worked with international organizations, leading their policy and helping cities and organizations optimize and really extract the potential of data. Um, um, Through Atom Camp and other initiatives, Naveed is really helping upskill the youth with new age learnings so that they can have a better future. So, Naveed Saab, very excited to have you today. Thank you so much for being here on the show. How are you, sir? कैसे हैं आप?
Thank you, Ji. Thank you for inviting. I was really looking forward. I am very good and looking forward to an interesting conversation with you.
So you are very a frequenter here at the NIC. आपके साथ हम अक्सर इवेंट्स भी कोलैबोरेशन में करते हैं और बहुत मज़े के हमारे इवेंट्स हुए हैं, बहुत हमने लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ लोगों को दी हैं और यहाँ पे आई थिंक हमारे कम्युनिटी में हर कोई आपको जानता है। लेकिन ये मेरे माइंड में सवाल अक्सर आता है कि नवीद भाई किधर बड़े हुए, कहाँ से आपका कहाँ से आना हुआ, व्हाट वाज योर चाइल्डहुड लाइक, what brought you up to this point? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
I grew up in a village, and that's near, if you know the city Wazirabad. It's part of Gujranwala district. So गांव में पला बड़ा यूनिवर्सिटी में जब मैं गया पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी में इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ने मास्टर इन इकोनॉमिक्स सो देन आई शिफ्टेड टू लाहौर एंड बचपन मेरा कैसे गुजरा स्कूल जाते हुए खेलते हुए and helping my family on farms, doing agriculture and doing livestock raising. So I've done all these things, and then obviously I did economics. I studied economics, and then I worked in the government at Ministry of Finance.
Worked your way up.
Yeah.
What is family to you, Naveed bhai?
So, so my parents actually encouraged me a lot. Probably when I went to the Punjab University, I was the first one from my village to go and study at the university because earlier ज़्यादातर लोग FA BA पे रुक जाते थे या बाद में किसी ने प्राइवेट पढ़ा हुआ है तो एक यूनिवर्सिटी में बाकायदा तौर पे जाके एनरोल होना probably I was the first one and that a lot of contribution comes from my parents actually and sort of they gave me that boost.
Very important.
So that's how it happened.
तो अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि आपका मेंटोर या आपके मेंटोर्स कौन थे तो इट वुड बी योर पेरेंट्स।
पेरेंट्स का बहुत बड़ा रोल था टू इनकरेज मी टू पुश मी फॉरवर्ड। उसके बाद मैं आगे बढ़ता हूँ उसमें कुछ दोस्तों का बड़ा रोल था सो दोज फ्रेंड्स एक्चुअली गाइडेड मी अलॉट। उससे थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ता हूँ यूनिवर्सिटी के टीचर्स मिले वर्क स्पेस में जब आए तो फिर लोग मिले लेकिन दो लोग अदर देन माय ओन फैमिली एंड वेरी क्लोज फ्रेंड्स जो हैं टू पीपल हैव बिन क्वाइट हेल्पफुल टू मी। एक मेरे सुपरवाइज़र वर्क सुपरवाइज़र थे व्हेन आई जॉइंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस ही यूज्ड टू बी माय बॉस and so he encouraged, he's Dr. Shujat Ali, he's an economist, civil servant. He encouraged me a lot to read actually. So my reading habit strengthened due to association with him. So I still feel privileged that I read and
you write.
yeah I write all as well. लेकिन ये मेरा रीडिंग राइटिंग का सफ़र स्टार्ट करने में डॉक्टर शुजात का बहुत बड़ा रोल है एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एनकरेज एवरीवन टू हैव मेंटोर्स। सेकंड जो है जो मेरी एंटरप्रेन्योरियल परसूट्स हैं उनमें एक बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन जो है वो शाहजहान चौधरी का है एंड प्रोबेबली यू नो शाहजहान। He was director at NIC Karachi and now he's doing Machine Lab Ventures. So Shahjahan, guided me a lot, inspired me a lot at each step that how to build a startup. And so Similarly, when I went abroad in the US, so there were people who guided me, who mentored me. So, there are many people, if I, look back, so I've personally learned a lot from so many people around me.
मेंटोर्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट और ये एक गाइडेंस है हमारे लिसनर्स के लिए कि गेट आउट देयर लुक फॉर मेंटोर्स फाइंड पीपल हु इंस्पायर यू टेक इनिशिएटिव गो हैव अ कॉन्वर्सेशन विद समवन न्यू ट्राई समथिंग एंड यू लर्न समथिंग आउट ऑफ इट राइट आपकी लर्निंग हैबिट डेवलप हुई एंड टेल अस अ लिटिल बिट अबाउट योर राइटिंग
So, writing, I've written a lot non-fiction. Non-fiction, in a way, I've co-edited books which were published internationally on entrepreneurship. I have written many research papers. I have written on entrepreneurship. I've written on many other public policy issues. I may have written like over 200 op-eds in different newspapers. All of them are published. But very recently, I've started writing a novel. So I'm publishing it on Medium, one chapter every week. If you go on Medium, my novel is Hold On. It's antonym of move on. So it's Hold On. And so it's a story of young women from Peshawar about her journey of mobility, from a humble family background to gain education, to struggle with the society, and then you know more about her relationships, her emotions, her aspirations, and the way she navigates relationships. So that's, and there are some socio-economic issues of Pakistan, our cities, and life of a single woman, living and working in a city like even Islamabad. So this novel is more about that. So I'm fond of writing, fond of reading. So
and you've done a lot of work for women and we'll get into that, but first I want to hear a little bit about atom camp, which is your primary startup business right now. So tell us a little bit about atom camp and how it's facilitating people.
So Atom Camp is a learning platform. The idea, there were a couple of reasons that we started it. Very first reason was that I realized that there is not much focus on skills in Pakistan. So the skills that we call digital skills or high tech skills, or you call white collar skills, either those are soft skills or technical skills, hard skills. So एक तो skills पे यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में भी फोकस नहीं था. सेकंड बड़ा इशू पाकिस्तान में interdisciplinary एजुकेशन नहीं है. you've done a degree in one field और सारी उम्र आपकी डिग्रियां जो होनी चाहिए they should give you independence university education. in case of पाकिस्तान वो पाँव की बेड़ियां बन जाती हैं कि अब मैंने काउंटिंग पढ़ ली है तो मैंने सारी उम्र काउंटिंग ही करनी है. इफ़ आई अप्लाई फॉर एन HR जॉब, इफ़ आई अप्लाई फॉर ए मार्केटिंग जॉब, if I apply as a coder, they'll say you are accountant, even though I have a skill set that I've learned recently. So my idea was that where we can have interdisciplinary education, people can switch careers, they can learn other fields. So second reason जो है हमारी interdisciplinary education. Third ये था कि हम barriers remove करना चाहते थे. Virtual trainings हैं, people sitting across Pakistan जहाँ से मर्जी कोर्स लें हमारा. एंड द इशू इज़ के पाकिस्तान में लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स हैं. हम बायलिंगुअल करते हैं, जो अच्छा क्वालिटी का कंटेंट है वो सिर्फ इंग्लिश में अवेलेबल है. लाइव क्लासेस करते हैं, फिर मेंटोरिंग नहीं होती है. सो आई वर्कड इन मैनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस एंड आई ऑल्सो taught in over a dozen universities and business schools in Pakistan. So I observed that throughout my teaching career, throughout professional career, some of these reasons. And then we have a raw talent in Pakistan. It's just an effort to transform them into a global skill set we can give them. So we provide data science and artificial intelligence trainings, boot camps, customized training, solutions of data science and AI. और उसमें अब जो हमारे पास लोग आ रहे हैं, जैसे डेटा साइंस, फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम पीपल थॉट इट्स ओनली सम सब फील्ड ऑफ कंप्यूटर साइंस, but there is no field now where data is not used to make decisions. You are working in agriculture sector, you are working in education, you are working in health sector, you are working in media, you are working in marketing, HR, that's all data. सो अब हम ज़्यादातर जो स्टूडेंट्स को इनक्रेज करते हैं, एवरी वन शुड लर्न. हमारे बूट कैंप्स में हम इनक्रेज करते हैं, यू हैव कंप्यूटर साइंस और IT बैकग्राउंड, आप भी आएँ, स्टैटिस्टिक्स वाले भी आएँ, मैथमेटिक्स वाले भी आएँ, इकोनॉमिक्स वाले भी आएँ. इंजीनियरिंग, पाकिस्तान में इतने सारे इंजीनियर्स हैं हु कैन स्विच देयर कैरियर्स टू डेटा साइंस. तो एटम कैंप इज़ वेरी मच फोकस्ड ऑन providing learning opportunities, and then mentoring students and giving them a hope that they can achieve their goals.
Brilliant. And what an important area to focus on because, like you said, it's very generic right now. So people need to specialize and people need to realize that they can move around if the situation calls for it. So, where in Pakistan is Atom Camp available? And if people want to sign up for a program, where would you recommend them to go?
So our whole program, most of our programs, we do physical events, or NIC or Team Up are our proud partners, and we've done many physical events, workshops, awareness raising, trainings. हमारे जो कोर्सेज होते हैं, बूट कैंप्स हैं, वो वर्चुअल होते हैं. एंड atomcamp.com, एक बात आपने याद रखनी है, एटम में ए स्मॉल है, so we really mind if someone writes capital A. So so atomcamp.com, आप वहाँ पर जाएं, ओपन कोर्सेज देखें. बूट कैंप हमारा आफ्टर एवरी 3 मंथ स्टार्ट होता है. कल अभी हमारे इस हफ्ते जो है, जो थर्ड बूट कैंप है, वो अभी क्लोज हुए हैं. उसके एडमिशन नेक्स्ट 3 मंथ्स में बाद आएगा. एक हम जो है वो टेक्नोलॉजी में, एक और हमें बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज आ रहा है कि जितनी भी टेक्नोलॉजी फर्म्स हैं वो हमें अप्रोच कर रही हैं कि हम इंजीनियर्स हायर करते हैं, कंप्यूटर साइंटिस्ट, तो सॉफ्ट स्किल्स की कमी होती है. तो हम एक सॉफ्ट स्किल्स के लिए भी बूट कैंप लॉन्च करने जा रहे हैं. तो जिसने भी हमारे प्रोग्राम्स देखने हों, हमसे रब्ता करना हो, atomcamp.com पे जाएं. और पाकिस्तान क्या, हमारे बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट पाकिस्तानीज अमेरिका से, दुबई से, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से, यूरोप से, दे हैव जॉइंड आवर प्रोग्राम्स. पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो है, आई कैन नेम यू कि स्कर्दू से लेके तुर्बत तक एवरी रीजन के पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं हमारे पास. सो दैट्स वेयर बलोचिस्तान, AJK, you name any, reasonably, size of city, and we have our alumni and students there.
Goes to show how diverse the program is and how accessible it is.
Yeah, it is accessible.
Anyone can understand and learn, and there's no barrier. Language में भी issue नहीं है क्योंकि उर्दू में भी available, English में भी available. This is quite amazing, making us proud in the region as well. So Atom Camp, amazing work being done here. But the first time I met you, it was as a result of your other startup called WeCamp. And it was because I had gone to F9 Park and there was a WeCamp festival going on. And then I traced that back to you, and I was so impressed and proud. There were so many female founders there showcasing their business. And then I learned that it is an e commerce platform as well. So, Naveed bhai, tell us a little bit about what WeCamp is and what you're doing for women.
So WeCamp is, initially it was an initiative of Atom Camp. It's Women Entrepreneurs Camp. Now it's an independent company and organization. WeCamp हमने स्टार्ट किया था, जैसे हम स्किल डेवलपमेंट, एम्पावरमेंट की बात करते हैं, यूथ की, मेन की, विमेन की. सो वी रियलाइज्ड कि बहुत सारी खवातीन जो है जॉब्स भी शायद नहीं कर पा रही, घर भी बैठी हुई हैं. दे डोंट हैव मच टाइम टू डू जॉब्स, और but they have very good skill set in terms of some sort of entrepreneurial where they can work towards. So we thought to provide them opportunity, trainings. So WeCamp is a platform. We do three things. We provide trainings across Pakistan. Virtual भी कोर्स अभी एक रन हो रहा है ऑनलाइन कमाओ के नाम से, एंड सिमिलरली उसमें फ्रीलांसिंग भी सिखाते हैं, बिजनेस भी सिखाते हैं. एंड देन वी ऑल्सो ट्रैवल अक्रॉस पाकिस्तान. अभी तक हमने सिंध में ट्रेनिंग्स करवा चुके हैं, खैरपुर में हमने, साउथ पंजाब में बहावलपुर ट्रेनिंग्स कराई हैं, KP के सिटीज़ में, कोहाट में हमने, मर्दान में, नौशहरा में, चारसदा में, ऐसे शहरों में ट्रेनिंग्स कराई हैं हमने. कोयटा में विमेन की ट्रेनिंग्स करवाई हैं. सो वी प्रोवाइड ट्रेनिंग्स टू विमेन फिजिकली, वर्चुअली. सेकंड, हम टाइम टू टाइम फेस्टिवल्स ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं टू हेल्प देम आउट. थर्ड, हमारा जो है वो ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म पहले वी कैंप के ऊपर ही था. अभी जो वी कैंप .pk आप वेबसाइट पे जाएंगे तो नो, दिस इज़ मोर ऑफ आवर ब्लॉग एंड वेबसाइट व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. सो ई कॉमर्स पार्ट जो है, दैट्स अ न्यूज़. ई कॉमर्स पार्ट जो पार्ट है उसका, वी कैंप इज़ गोइंग टू लॉन्च इट्स ओन ब्रांड, and that will be an accessible brand, accessible fashion brand, in a way affordable fashion brand. And this brand will be solely focused on college and universities going women, because right now our fashion industry, everyone is focused on middle-aged women, and the kind of dresses they wear, and kind of accessories they go for. लेकिन इस वक्त यूनिवर्सिटी गोइंग विमेन उनकी नीड्स क्या हैं, उनको बैग्स कैसे चाहिए, उनको शर्ट्स कैसी चाहिए यूनिवर्सिटी में, कैंपस में, तो विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन कैंपस फैशन.
Very interesting. And announcing it here first time on the Detox podcast.
Yeah, this is it.
Honor. A lot of work you've been doing for women. Any other startups you're working on, Naveed bhai?
So these are two startups. The third, I have a learning platform. It's more advocacy platform. It's Learners Republic, and Learners Republic is a policy dialogue forum. But the idea is that I believe in partnerships, and so I believe in team building. Uh, with everything I do, I have many partners. My time currently is solely focused on atomcamp. Other initiatives are where I have partnerships, and some other full-time people are running them. But atomcamp I look after myself. So the idea is to, so that's how I believe in partnerships and team building. And so I give the vision, I give the direction, and then I empower my team, and they do things, they do amazing things. And I just coach them, I mentor them, I steer them, but they are the ones who deliver.
Right, right. So, starting a startup, I'm sure you've seen firsthand that it can be challenging, especially in a country like Pakistan, where a lot of our infrastructure is not built to support startups. So, could you share maybe some of the challenges that you faced when you were setting up? Maybe there's something to learn from that.
Yeah, I think it depends what kind of startups you are into. For us, there is huge challenge in terms of awareness, market. So in education sector, there is this issue of there are two type of trainings happening. One, there are educational degrees, and people, more, other than 4 or 5 universities, everyone is sort of unemployed. And then there are programs, vocational programs, and those vocational programs are free and funded by the government. But most of the time, the quality is not so good, not easily adaptable, not easily customizable. And then there are NGOs as well running training programs, doing workshops, and then moving away. So people really, didn't value the skills. And there is a premium involved in skills, but people don't want to pay for that. So because we thought that payment is mandatory, and then people can hold us accountable, you know so that was a challenge to create that market. And I'm happy now many and what was happening in Pakistan, like there comes this week, another challenge is raising venture funding, and that you go through this process. For us, anything, like what were they doing, these tuition academies, focusing on exam preparations. There were so many venture fundings available for them, but we wanted to develop skills. And so far, uh, you know we didn't reach to anyone, but we knew that if we'll reach, no one will be interested in our work. So we bootstrapped it. And I'm sharing with you that news that within 2 years now Atom Camp is totally financially independent, stable, sustainable. So it was a challenge to make financially sustainable. And what I believe, most of the time startups are running behind investors. And I believe that they need to create a product that can bring users, and you should have that product which have a value for the user, and user is willing to pay. So most of the time startups whole focus is to attract investors, and then later on to please investors, and sometime artificial growth, and just showing that we are scaling up. So people shouldn't really hurry up in scaling up. You need to understand the market. We spend like 2 years, that's not enough time, but if you see that these 2 years we are still understanding the market, and now we've started thinking about scale after 2 years, and we still think that there is a lot to learn for us, and that learning will continue. So the major challenges in Pakistan, other than these sort of things, are this internet access, because we provide virtual training. There are many parts in this country where internet is not available. And the third thing where we face challenges is the payment systems, because we have small ticket payments, but they are in hundreds and thousands, and managing these payments, that's a huge challenge in Pakistan. And some payment gateway would charge very high, that will be probably not affordable for a startup. So I think these are some of the challenges for startups. And I personally think that people are making efforts, like me, many others are doing this. But coming from the government, then you can talk about other things, availability of research and development through government funding. I can talk about procurement issues that startups face, because oftentimes, because a large procurement happens by the government agencies. तो वो गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज जब अपनी एड्स देती हैं तो वो लिखती हैं एक कंपनी का 10 साल का एक्सपीरियंस हो, उसकी इतनी बैलेंस शीट हो, तो वो ज़्यादा प्रोडक्ट की क्वालिटी, सर्विस की क्वालिटी की बजाय कंपनी का साइज़, कंपनी की हिस्ट्री पे जाते हैं। तो ये हमारे जो स्टार्टअप्स हैं उनके लिए ये बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज होता है।
Definitely. But my favorite point that you raised was that don't, if you're running after investment, then maybe you're chasing the wrong thing, because what about the product? What about your actual user of the product? Are you focused on refining the experience for him or her, making it a better experience? So, very, very nice points. Thank you so much. Next question I want to ask is, what do you think for a founder is the most important skill or tool that they can have in their arsenal? Is it network? Is it marketing? Is it the team they have? What do you think?
So I think there are many things. Very first thing is, dare to dream. We should dream, and everything starts with that dream. And people will stop you dreaming, and they'll say, this is not the right dream, this is not the right dream. You should talk to people, you should learn, you should refine your ideas, but you should have a dream, what you want to achieve, what you want to, you know so that's the first thing. The second thing is obviously, going into details, what really product you are going after, what you really want to do, how passionate you are for that work. This is very important. And then the third level, it comes, the your capability to build a team, and to sort of retain them for a long time, and attract talent, and attract people who are passionate about the same thing. So team building is very important. So I put these three things at the top, and then there are other things. Obviously networking is very important, mentoring, learning, engaging with users is very important. As a founder, maybe I'm not involved in very micro things, but the thing that I take pride at atomcamp, that I'm actually full time working and interacting with users of our services, with the trainees. They are our assets. As a founder, most of my time is actually engagement with our students. I try to understand them, their problems, and then I communicate with my team. They are also doing it. They know that I don't want to listen to complain of any student. So my most of the time, so that's where I'm coming from, that you need to engage with users, your ability to understand the people who you are serving. So that becomes very important. And the last thing is obviously, as a skill set, you need to be good in office productivity tools, how to assign work to your team, and then managing them, and communicating with them. And last maybe is network, you said, but last is building and sustaining partnership, like atomcamp has an NIC partnership,
Teaming up.
teaming up.
Very nice. Such an inspiring and I think very valuable for the founders. We're going to finish today's podcast with what we like to call the quick fire round. So I'll ask you 4 or 5 questions and you'll give me one line answers for them. So, what is your favorite place in the world?
So my favorite place in the world is in New York.
New York?
Yeah. I like their Washington Square Park,
Very nice.
and I've also, sort of discussed it in my novel.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, and the favorite part is the vibrancy of the space because I'm fond of public spaces. So in the middle of that concrete jungle, there is a space where city can breathe, where people can breathe, people can play, kids can take a shower in that open, that fountains, and then people can do other fun activities. They can sit, they can read. So I like public spaces, and such a vibrancy public space that I like. And obviously, second, such a place for me is Margalla tracks in Islamabad.
What a sense of community, healthy living. Also, I think in Islamabad, that's my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
What is your favorite book?
So I read a lot, and sometimes it becomes difficult for me to say which one is. Every book I read, I become fond of that. But for founders, the kind of community we are talking about, I recommend everyone to read Think Again by Adam Grant. It really helps you to organize your thought process. So, but and then there are so many other books as well. I recommend everyone to read biography or whatever.
And to read, just read, read, read.
Read, and whatever Walter Isaacson, he write biographies of people, and read whatever Steve Jobs biography, Einstein biography, Benjamin Franklin biography.
Very nice.
So he writes a lot, and then if you are, you once you read Adam Grant, then check the references he's giving by other researches, books he's talking about. So maybe I would recommend Think Again.
What is your retirement plan?
So my retirement plan is that I'll teach. I'm fond of teaching.
Give back.
I'm still giving back. I want to teach. I'll never stop in my life. That's the best part of a teacher, and that's why I did my PhD actually. When I was doing, I said that for a lifelong I want to be associated with the education sector. And the good part is being in education sector, what we learn in PhD has become academics. You never retire, and you continue doing so. Doesn't mean you are doing full time, you are off time, you are mentoring someone, you are counseling, you are teaching, and obviously I like hiking, trekking, travels. So maybe if I'll have more time, I'll do these things more, but I'll always be associated with teaching and trainings and education.
Brilliant, brilliant. Naveed Iftikhar, founder at atomcamp. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today. And for our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Detox. See you for the next one. Allah Hafiz.